Welcome to our video lesson about the distributive property. We're going to look at the second part of the distributive property after what we did in class. Alright, in class we talked about how to go from something that looks like this to something that looks like this, where we distribute the 8 and the times to the 4 and we distribute it to the 3. But what about going the other way? How do we go from something that looks like this with numbers to something that looks like this? Well, there are 4 steps. Can you please take the time to write down, fill in the blanks of your steps? Our first step is to find the GCF, or greatest common factor, of both numbers. 2, divide out the GCF. 3, write the sign from the expression. And 4, write the GCF as the number in front or the coefficient. If you need to, press pause and make sure you get those steps written down. Alright, let's do an example together. The first step, we want to go from this to something that's written using the distributive property. Step 1, find the GCF of both numbers. So we need to find the GCF of 32 and 24. I'm going to use a factor tree, but you could do it by listing the factors if that's the way you like better. Doesn't matter. 2 factors that multiply together to give me 32 are 8 and 4. Neither of those are prime numbers, so I'm going to keep going. 2 factors that give me 8 are 2 and 4. 2 is prime, so I'm going to circle it. 4 is composite, so let's keep going. I'll get 2 and 2. Circle both of them, and then we're done that one. Let's go back up to our 4 over here. 2 numbers that give me 4 are 2 and 2. Circle them both. And now we're done with our 32. Okay, let's do the 24. Make sure you're writing this down on your handout. 2 numbers that multiply together to give me 24 are 3 and 8. 3 is prime, so I'm going to circle it. 2 numbers to give me 8 are 2 and 4. 2 is prime, so I circle it. 2 numbers to give me 4 are 2 and 2. They're both prime, so I'll circle them. Alright, now that I've got my factor trees, I'm going to write out my prime factorization. So I have 32 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Do I have the right number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes. Okay. And 24 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Now I circle the ones they have in common. So here, 2's are paired, 2's are paired, and 2's are paired. And then to find the GCF, I multiply them together. So our GCF is equal to 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 gives 4, times 2 is 8. So my GCF is 8. And now I'm done step 1. Step 2, it says divide out the GCF. What that means is from both of these numbers, in our expression up here, 32 and 24, I'm going to divide out 8. So what's 32 divided by 8? Well, that's 4. And what's 24 divided by 8? That's 3. So now I've divided out the GCF. My next step, write the sign from the expression. Okay, the sign up here is plus. So I'm going to write the plus sign down here. Last step. Write the GCF as the number in front or the coefficient. That's the math word for it, coefficient. Okay, so I'm going to put my parentheses around these, and then my GCF was 8, and I have 8 times. Now I'm done. So now I've written these 2 numbers together using the distributive property. And these guys would end up being equal. If you want to check it, you're welcome to. I'm going to do another example though. Let's do it with 25 and 45. Our first step is to find the GCF of both numbers. So let's do that now. This time I'm going to do it by listing the factors. So the factors of 25. I have 1. It's not divisible by 2. It's not divisible by 3. Not divisible by 4. But it is divisible by 5. And it's 5 times 5. And 25. And that's it for our factors of 25. All right, 45. There's a few more. It's divisible by 1, and 45. It's not divisible by 2. It is divisible by 3, and it's 3 times 15. It's not divisible by 4. It is divisible by 5, and it's 5 times 9. It's not divisible by 6 because it's not divisible by 2. It's not divisible by 7 or 8, and so we're done. Now I find their greatest common factor, and in this case it is 5. So my GCF is 5. If you want to do the other way where you do a factor tree, that's completely fine with me. It doesn't matter which way you want to do it as long as you do it. Just do it whichever way you're more comfortable. So now I have the GCF. My next step is to divide out the GCF. So I need to take 25 divided by 5. 25 divided by 5 gives me 5. And then 45 divided by 5. And that gives me 9. All right, now I write the sign from my expression. So the sign up here was plus. So that's the sign that will go down here. If it was minus, I would put minus down here. And my last step is to write the GCF as the number in front or the coefficient. So I'm going to put my parentheses around and then write my 5 times out here. That's how we go from an expression to something written using the distributive property. If you want to go back and watch any part of this video again, please do. If you have any questions about it, please ask me. I'm here to help you. That's all for now. I'll talk to you later.